Understanding the enablers of counterfeit products will give us a starting point on how to mitigate this global problem. Online purchases and greater use of the postal system is the biggest enabler of consumer purchasing and demand. Additionally, the inability of e-commerce sites to respond adequately due to the volume of criminal activity. There is a lack of awareness in many countries around counterfeit products and their impact. Three motives for consumption of counterfeit goods include price, easy access, and that they are socially acceptable. With advanced production processes, counterfeiters can manufacture with higher quality and thus demand a higher price. Since both price and quality are considered very important indicators for counterfeit products, the chance of seizing counterfeit goods is reduced. And inadequate sentences in being caught and prosecuted for the manufacture, distribution, and sale of counterfeit products. And a number of economies are being transformed into free markets, particularly due to missing intellectual property rights and the attitude of their consumers, now emerging as both large producers and consumers of counterfeit products. Some of the common enablers of counterfeit products getting introduced into an organization's supply chain might include the unavailability of original manufacturer grade material, a poorly defined specification within procurement that allows the procurement of low-grade parts or materials, no local access to global products, the urgent need replacement of parts or items, poor vendor qualification and the verification of their supply chain that would have otherwise identified product risk. Weak or absent goods receipt and inspection regime that should have identified suspicious deliveries and counterfeit parts. And single source or direct award of procurement to a vendor with unreliable or unverified performance. An inadequate disposal or obsolescence program to ensure that inferior or end-of-life products aren't reintroduced into the supply chain. A poor response when counterfeit products or non-conformity items are identified that should have had a risk mitigation response. Attempts to reduce cost, or an organisation that is motivated by a lowest price, may create the risk of introducing counterfeit products into their supply chain. Limited availability of spare parts suppliers that means organisations sourcing products from untested suppliers. Within organisations, there are several process risk factors that can enable the procurement of counterfeit products. High levels of personal discretion and autonomy in decision making. Non-transparent or unrecorded decision making. Poor organisation compliance of work practices. Procedural gaps or disconnected business processes to allow the use of counterfeit products to go unnoticed. The lack of ownership or sense of responsibility where risk is identified. What is the strength of the anti-fraud culture? And the lack of systematic controls.